What up and welcome to Rama Screen YouTube channel, and here's my review of Black Phone 2. Let's rock this. Wow, this is an exceptional sequel. And as you all know, great sequels are few and far between, very, very rare. But trust me when I say that Black Phone 2 is way, way scarier than its predecessor. I shit you not. Now don't get me wrong, I liked the previous first movie. That one had a bit more psychological drama mixed in with the supernatural horror. Not to mention, it was claustrophobic and somewhat loosely inspired by that killer clown John Wayne Gacy. So it was a good film. But this Black Phone 2, it's like they took their foot off the brakes and just let the film unleashed. It's creepy, haunting, gruesome, and surprisingly badass. The right way to describe it is, it's kind of like Stranger Things meets Freddy Krueger. Black Phone 2 is one of the best horror films I've seen this year. Directed by Scott Derrickson. In Black Phone 2, the Grabber seeks vengeance on Finn from beyond the grave by terrorizing Finn's younger sister Gwen. As Finn, now 17, struggles with life after his captivity, the headstrong 15-year-old Gwen begins receiving calls in her dreams from the Black Phone and seeing disturbing visions of 3 boys being stalked at a winter camp known as Alpine Lake. Determined to solve the mystery and end the torment for both her and her brother, Gwen persuades Finn to visit the camp during a winter storm. There, she uncovers a shattering intersection between the Grabber and her own family's history. Together, she and Finn must confront a killer who has grown more powerful in death and more significant to them than either could imagine. Starring Ethan Hawke, Demian Bichir, Mason Thames, and Madeleine McGraw. Just as I mentioned in the synopsis, and to my point earlier, the focus of this sequel now shifts to Gwen without completely neglecting Finn. And the Grabber now has become just like Freddy Krueger, which if you think about it, even Pennywise also attacks people in their dreams, so it's a very familiar genre trope, but one that is very well executed in this film. The ways in which the Grabber attacks Finn and Gwen in this sequel are creative and unexpected and terrifying. The editing is also seamless in juxtaposing what it's like in their subconscious with what it's like when they are awake. Speaking of which, the grainy old-timey Super 8 cinematic look for the dream sequences is also eerily brilliant. Again, at the risk of sounding like a broken record, the 80s aesthetics and the visuals and the styles are clearly inspired by those Wes Craven's Nightmare on Elm Street movies. Nostalgic, moody, and chilling. The snowy winter setting of the isolated camp provides an atmospheric sense of dread that also plays into the characters' dynamics as they grapple with this powerful, vengeful demon. Now, some audiences might be offended by the film's relentless comments on Christianity. They might even view that as heavy-handed. But to me, it's not so much as mocking it as it is more about pointing out its hypocrisy, and that the theological battle between good and evil comes down to just simply be about doing what's right with your fellow man, which is an indictment of our society today that unfortunately has the mentality of, as long as I'm okay, who cares about my neighbors? The performances of the actors in this film are outstanding. Ethan Hawke looks like he's just having a blast, playing a full-blown supernatural monster this time around. Because his character is no longer bound by reality, the Grabber is now free to be as menacing as he would like, and it shows in Ethan's performance that just fully embraces that sinister, ruthless side. Madeleine McGraw delivers a powerful, complex, phenomenal performance as Gwen, who wrestles with her gift/curse. Mason Thames is equally excellent in terms of expressing the lingering trauma of what happened to him previously. And another thing that I find fascinating about the script is that the injection of humor is smartly and strategically placed, and it functions to either intensify the scares or solidify the relationship. Black Phone 2 did a fine job of expanding and deepening the lore. The stakes are higher, the violence is gorier, the technical qualities are more impressive, and the storytelling prowess is more coherent, memorable, and visceral. So yeah, overall I give Black Phone 2 the rating of 4.5 out of 5. Bigger, better, scarier. It is peak horror sequel. It doesn't get more devilishly entertaining than this.